multiple times. Burberry, no one liked their original logo. It's been redone multiple times. Gap tried to redo their logo in 2010. Everybody hated it. They went back a week later. So there's nothing wrong with trying something new. If it doesn't work, no problem. And you can have alternate logos. I have an alternate logo. I have one that I use on letterhead and invoicing that is not this one. It's totally fine if you have one that has more text on it that may not be as easily read in an icon format. I'm trying to think of who has alternate logos. Progressive. The progressive logo is the word progressive. But if you look at a lot of things, you'll see just the blue circle and the P. Sports teams have alternate logos. It's totally fine to do that. But when we're talking about alternate, we need to understand primary logos and then the submark. So our primary logo is our full design that's going to be used on banners, websites, and packaging. So this one is my primary logo. My submark is used for letterhead, invoices, and emails. Icons or thumbnail logos. You can use them just for this, for chatting across different platforms and things like that, especially on things like Twitter, or X, I guess is what it is now. You might have just one for the icon. Now, if we consider other, like I said, brands like Apple, Nike, Starbucks, they have variations. But you still want that to be cohesive. So whether it's on your banner, on your YouTube introduction, or your business card, you want there to be something about that logo that is similar across each version. Next we're going to talk about is authenticity. Your logo needs to reflect you as a person. Don't just slap your initials on there. You really got to think about it. You want the logo to feel unique to your community, because that's what's going to get you remembered. So the bottom line here, think of your logo like your brand's handshake. It needs to be memorable, adaptable, authentic, whether you're using it as a primary design or an alternate version for documents, or even a simplified icon. Any questions about logos? Not for me. Okay, no problem. So next we're going to talk about banners. Now, your banner here on Whatnot doesn't give you a whole lot of real estate, but it still should be cohesive to your brand, just in case someone is viewing it from a PC. Most people who are going to be on Whatnot are going to be looking at it through a mobile version. So again, not much real estate, but it's still worth making look good. Now, if you're going to also cross-post to places like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you're going to have a lot more real estate there, and those banners can be a little bit more detailed and create that stage, if you will. Professional banner is going to communicate credibility. So if you think about LinkedIn, for example, the LinkedIn banner, for a lot of people, you want that to be very professional. You want it to be clean. You want it to either have your full name, something like a landscape of where you're at. That banner can really draw people in. So you definitely want to keep it in your vibe. So if it's going to be playful or sleek or exciting, definitely try to keep any of your banners in that same vibe or color set as your logo. It's also good to switch out your banners seasonally. Think about how Google does theirs. This kind of keeps your shop or your website looking really fresh, moving from season to season. Next, we're going to talk about thumbnails. Now, this is something that I actually do offer to make thumbnails, which I will pin. but you don't have to worry about that right now. But we're going to talk about thumbnails. So a thumbnail is your first impression on a feed. When someone is scrolling through here, looking at shops, looking at shows that are going to be scheduled, or they even land on your page and they click over to shows, that thumbnail is their first impression. You want to be consistent in your color story, whether it's more muted tones. I like to use muted tones for most of my things, unless it's my sketch card show. Fonts, imagery, everything needs to be kind of cohesive to kind of create brand consistency. Now, you also want to have consistency across platforms. So if you're here on Whatnot and you're doing like these loud neon colors and all your logos are very cutesy, but then over on Instagram, everything's very dark and depressing, people from Instagram are going to be very confused when they come here to Whatnot to purchase things. So that's where brand cohesiveness across platforms. You want people to be able to recognize you and be, I know it's a little silly, but you want that familiarity. And if someone doesn't already follow you on another platform and they're scrolling and they see your picture that they know from here on Whatnot, they're more likely to follow you there as well. So again, familiarity breeds growth. And again, authenticity. You want to kind of keep your marketing for your thumbnails and all of your images very authentic to you and your brand and what matters to you. So why does all of this matter? What does someone's graphics or their font have to do with engagement? Well, with graphics, that influences your click rate. We know from psychology that certain font sets and colors are more eye-catching for the consumer. It's going to determine whether somebody scrolls right past you or stops. You're laughing because I've had that happen to me. I was like going, what the hell is going on over here? Exactly. And it's very confusing. When somebody's stuff looks so vastly different, then you're wondering, is this the same person or is it just somebody with a similar name? Which can make someone not follow you somewhere. You don't want that. Your font that you're using, especially on thumbnails, needs to be clear and bold. You don't want crazy cursive or overly decorative things or mismatch. It's going to look amateurish. You want everything to be really balanced and uncluttered so that it looks professional. If somebody has a lot going on that thumbnail and it looks messy or looks like they did it in Microsoft Paint, you're going to be less likely to click that just from a psychological standpoint. The next thing, and I'm really passionate about it, is please, please, please do not use AI to make your thumbnails or your logos or your banners. Please, please, please do not use AI. And here's the marketing standpoint that I can give you actual evidence on why that's not good for your branding. Right now, market is flooded with AI-driven visuals. And yes, AI can give you polished, quick, savvy-looking images, but now consumers are starting to be skeptical of that. Studies that are out right now can tell you that nearly 90% of consumers want transparency when AI images are being used. You hate AI, literally scroll, exactly. Literally scroll if you see somebody, you support real artists, absolutely. But when AI images are used, 98% of people will say that authentic visuals are pivotal to their trust. And you're like, well, how would they know? They know, trust me. Market research has already highlighted that consumers often feel less favorable towards brands who are using AI images, especially when they're really easy to spot, such as that kind of unnatural yellow tint and repetitive stylistic patterns. When I see somebody on here with a Studio Ghibli style thumbnail, I already know that you did it in Copilot. I already know. Somebody has kind of that like hot pink and blue, very cutesy animated look, I already know that you did that using ChatGPT. I know that's where it came from. If it looks kind of grainy, I know you did it with ChatGPT. If it's overly stylized and anime, I know you did it with Nightwish. I know exactly what program you used. Exactly, makes you cringe every time. And a lot of consumers are becoming more savvy like that. Since AI is emerging and everybody is using it for different things. And let me tell you, it can be wonderful. If you really struggle with show notes and grammar and coming up with a really cohesive statement, it can be absolutely wonderful to type or use voice to text to tell something, this is what I want it to say, but please make me sound smart. That can be a wonderful tool for that, but don't rely on it to make images. So that's my little spiel on please don't use AI. So now the other thing that's also really popular that I've seen people use for thumbnails is live photos from shows. Now a live photo can be great. It can really give authenticity, show your setup. It'll build trust, but you want to use them sparingly. You never want to reuse the same table scan or product shot for multiple shows. And here's why. If an item on that table sells and somebody sees it from the outside, comes into your show and says, hey, I want to see that green bangle bracelet that's in your picture. Well, you might have sold that like 2 days ago on another show that you used that image for. So now you don't have it. And that's going to come across as false advertising, which can kind of hurt you. So the best practice, if you're going to use a table scan as your thumbnail before you start a show or when you're scheduling a show, only use it once and refresh it every time. So why does the more graphic, polished thumbnail equal marketing gold? It's clean. It's professional. It communicates luxury, depending on how your design is. You're not going to see someone selling luxury items doing a junky, messy table scan. They're going to have a really lovely logo, maybe a few showcased pieces in photos. It's going to look smooth, professional, polished, because we are in a crowded market space. So you want your image to pop. You want somebody who's scrolling through, whether it's women's apparel, accessories, homemade. You want your show title to look engaging and interesting. You want the name of your show to be very catchy and interesting. Any questions so far? All right, so our key takeaways here are going to be invest in design. You're going to want a strong font, a balanced graphic, and a cohesive brand. Avoid AI overuse, because customers value authenticity and can often spot a generic AI from a mile away. Use live photos, but use them wisely. Polish equals profit. A thumbnail that looks professional is going to elevate your brand and increase your engagement. All right, guys. So before we wrap up tonight, I'd love to remind you that if you're ready to take your selling game up to the next level, I do offer tailored social media marketing and digital marketing services designed specifically for sellers like you. Whether you're looking to grow your audience, polish your brand identity, or create a plug and play content that drives engagement, I've got you covered. Okay, we're in this together. I've put together a set of packages and they're over there in the bin. So you can choose your level of support that fits your needs and your budget, from starters that can help you build a consistent presence to full service strategies that handle everything from content creation to audience growth. These are built to give you the results without the guesswork. And you would also have access to me during that entire time while I'm building this package and these strategies for you. So if you're serious about scaling your shop, check out the packages in the bin, pick one that feels right, and we can start building your brand together. Because remember, strong marketing isn't optional. It's a difference between being seen and being remembered. So I just want to thank everybody who came out tonight. This was kind of a short little pop-up, but I really enjoyed helping everybody out. And if there's any final questions that I can answer for you guys, I'm more than happy to do so. I am going to go ahead and pin that video replay one more time. That way, in case anybody wants to go ahead and pick that up. And you can always select pick up in person, I think is the option. If not, I'll just send you a thank you note. But yeah. Thank you guys so much though for coming. Oh, you're fine. I'll just send you a little thank you note. You're totally fine. But yeah, does anybody want me to come back and do other branding tips? I could make this a regular Sunday night kind of thing where I pop in for 30 and talk about other branding things. You think it's great? Absolutely. And definitely if you are interested in art, check out my other shows. Tomorrow night, I will be doing my Monday Night Mental Health, which is another community chat where we talk about mental health and different topics. The topic that we've currently been talking on has been addiction, people who have survived it, people who have grown up with it, who have seen other people. So we talk about that, and it's an open forum kind of thing where people can really express themselves, and it's a safe space to do so. I do that every single Monday night. I also have other shows I have lots of shows actually throughout the week and stuff like that. So feel free to bookmark and come see me again sometime. Maybe pick up some art, no pressure. Okay, let's find somebody to raid. Let's see. I don't really know who is on right now. Let's see. Oh, Spooky Mama is on. We'll go ahead and raid her. She's awesome. When you hit the chat, go ahead and use the mountain emoji. And thank you so very, very much for coming in and hanging out with me today.